Kamusta? Today I will teach you how to remove and clean the air intake manifold and its insulator on a Toyota Wigo. A dirty inlet manifold would eventually cause any vehicle to have a poor engine performance. Worn out gaskets inside it can also be a source of leak. This is my first time to remove and clean the air intake manifold assembly on this 2017 model. I'll replace its 5-year-old rubber seal. I also put a new throttle body gasket and a fresh air filter for this project. Remove the negative battery terminal using a 10mm deep socket. Tanggalin din ang engine cover. Loosen 2 clamps and 2 clips of the air filter box. Pull out the vacuum and air hoses, including the cover. Press and push out the spark plug's wiring harnesses. Disengage the electrical connector of the throttle body and loosen 3 bolts using a 10mm socket. Remove the bolt on top last and put the throttle body in a safe place. Let's take out its rubber gasket as well. Using a flathead screwdriver and a small Allan wrench or pick tool, disconnect several wiring connectors and fasteners. Remove the bolt of the manifold absolute pressure sensor gamit ang isang 10mm socket, then pull out the map sensor. Cover it with a small plastic like so. Loosen the positive crankcase ventilation hose clamp. We'll do the same for this brake booster vacuum hose clamp. We also need to disconnect this fuel vapor hose. Remove a hose from the vacuum switching valve assembly, then use a 10mm socket to remove its bolt. Disconnect this engine wire and the hose connected to the PCV. Swing the wires away from where the action is. Loosen this fastener on the intake manifold stay. Press and pull out the fuel injector's wiring harnesses. Cover this port of the engine cover rocker with a piece of paper towel. To remove a bolt behind this bracket, we'll be using a 7-inch 3/8" drive ratchet, a socket adapter, and a 10mm shallow socket. We're using a T-type 10mm socket to loosen 3 more bolts on this side of the fuel injectors. I would highly recommend putting something to catch the gasoline from the fuel delivery rail. We'll remove this fuel line fastener, so we need to disconnect this fuel hose from the pipe. We need to press this. Don't forget to press the other yellow clip under it at the same time, then pull. Cover and pull the hose aside. Let's now remove the bracket. Using a 10mm socket, remove 2 intake manifold stay bolts. We need to take out this 10mm bolt so we can remove 2 more bolts on the other side. This is where this clip was connected. You can spray some penetrating oil like WD-40 on these 12mm nuts and give the lubricant a few minutes to work. For the nut on this side, we're using a 9-inch wrench, half-inch drive, a socket adapter, a 2-inch extension bar, and a 12mm deep socket, 3/8-inch drive. We still have 2 more bolts to deal with. For this side, I suggest that you put a 12mm socket on the bolt before you put the wrench and turn it. It's easier that way. This is the cast metal intake manifold insulator. The plastic intake manifold is still connected to 2 clamps below it. This gasket is made of rubber, while this one is made of aluminum. Let's remove this hose for now. I got this degreaser from the online store that we all hate and love. I will use the entire spray can for this preventive maintenance service. I will also use a feeding bottle brush, water, wet tissues, a scrubbing pad, and believe it or not, my wife's hair blower to speed up the drying process, although sobrang init today. I got this gasket which is compatible to my unit from a Toyota dealer. We're taking our time in placing the gasket on the intake manifold. The insulator should be placed on the plastic manifold like so. The aluminum gasket should be in front of it. We're using a vacuum cleaner to suck any dirt that might got inside. Let's put back the manifold insulator to the engine bay. As you can see, I used a cowl cover to secure these things. This would hold the insulator for now. We're just screwing them back in. We'll be using these to reinstall the air intake manifold as well. All we need to do now is to put the bolts, connectors, and everything that we removed to their corresponding locations. The torque specifications for the bolts and nuts are in the description box. Turn the key to the on position twice to pump gas to the fuel injector's delivery pipe before starting the engine. Finally, reset the clock. I hope marami kayong natutunan. If you find the video super helpful, please consider subscribing and funding this channel. God bless you. See you soon.